Everyone to the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose. We're about to move into map number 2. Hopefully it's a good one, because map number 1 was very much uneventful if you're a TSM fan or player, that's for sure. A 16-5 clean sweep for G2.
Yeah, very convincing stuff there. G2, we said they needed a good start here to even have a chance in this best of 3 series, but that is not the performance I was expecting there. TSM not really showing up, a non-starter as you put it there, but this is where things get interesting. This is TSM, one of their favored maps here. We expect them to take this one. We know G2 aren't comfortable on this, so this is where we can expect to see TSM at least arrive in the semi-final. So far, I haven't been impressed with anything they've done. They've won a couple of force buys, and that's been about it. They haven't really strung together any momentum. They haven't had any explosive play. They didn't even get an AWP in their whole CT campaign on the first half. So that goes to show you how much of a dire straits they were in there. But Overpass, I think, will be a different story here. I think it'll be beneficial for TSM that they can get that CD start once again. This is a map they're much more comfortable on. Just get the pistol, just get themselves their morale built up. That's so good. Well, I'd say it may be worse for them to go all the way and have a big comeback there. At least they get the chance to reset now and kind of realize this is their map. They know G2 aren't particularly strong on this. The thing about G2 is they've obviously brought in AZ very recently, the last 2 weeks or so. They don't have time to actually fit him into every single aspect of every single map, right? You've got 7 maps to work through. They can go over the basics of this one, but it's going to be a very loose playstyle. They're not going to have that tactical execution, that synergy, especially on the CT side, to actually lock down a very well-drilled team such as TSM. So heavily favouring TSM going into this one, but the form G2 in right now, they could just be playing off that momentum and just the way they're hitting shots right now. Maybe that's enough just to take down the TSM side.
And that was exactly my worry almost here for TSM. We said, you know, they are the favoured team coming into this map, but we saw there on Cash, they weren't winning the one-on-ones. The duels were going almost exclusively over to G2. And
absolutely.
No, you can be as heavily favoured as you want, but if you're not hitting your shots, you can't win games at this level. That whole thing with your tactical aspect, they need to come together to actually work out for you here. So TSM, hopefully for them, you know, these 5-10 minutes that they've had in between has been a case of, all right, guys, literally just forget that. We need to completely reset. With, you know, bear in mind, we also need to completely step this one up, because we didn't show really any kind of promise, to be fair, in game number 1.
Well, it looks like I think the knife round's getting underway here. As I said before, it'd be great for TSM just to get that CT side, just so they know they can build some confidence up here. They're very good at controlling this map in general. Their CT side is very formidable. Great reading of the game device. Can be a very strong AWP on this map. They need to allow him to get rolling on this one if they're going to have a real chance. They can't let the economy run away from them like it did. They had some good force buys there, but then they lose a subsequent round and just amounted to nothing. So, knife round coming in. I'd say recently, due to current meta and stuff like that, this is actually a map with the top tier level. You wouldn't be surprised if some T halves can actually be won, but generally speaking, the CT half is more favoured going forward. It's the way, like I said, you can control the map a lot easier if you get rolling. But it looks like, there we go, G2 will be winning it, so they will be continuing their momentum from the first map, and we'll be having that prestigious CT starter here. TSM, I would say a must-win pistol for them. Just to talk about the pistol meta on Overpass as well, you have a couple of options here. 2 school of thoughts, I'd say. You either go for what we saw on Cash, a kind of straight-up rush somewhere. You can either go straight towards mid-control or straight into a B rush, or you can have 2 utility players, wait for any sort of CT aggression to come in, and then you do the smokes towards upper B, for example, smoke towards CT spawn, and then you kind of bundle it together with flashbangs. So TSM, we saw them rush B before, but I think that was more of the Hail Mary play once again. They're trying to surprise G2 a little bit, but here we go. Then we are going into the second map, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be G2 on the CT side, TSM on the T's. T side will be buying 4 sets of armor. Carrigan will be the utility player. He's going to have a smoke and 2 flashbangs. To me, that suggests they'll be going towards B, perhaps, maybe just smoking off upper platform and seeing what they can do with that. Let's see how they do approach it. And we'll be heading towards connect from middle, actually. So CT's not showing too much aggression. It's going to be 1 player towards the top of middle, just going to be Rain alone. Spots towards the top of fountain. Doesn't get too much from it, though, so decides to fall back.
Yeah, my worry here, just as we said, G2 needed to start off well in map number 1. Imperative here for TSM, because if heads go down at this stage of things, it's going to be bad news all the way here for TSM, as Rain is going to spot one. Couple of shots exchanged here. That USP, I was going to say, is going to win almost every single time there, and it will win out this time for Rain as well. So an instant 5 versus 4 almost in this first pistol round here on Overpass.
So they were trying to fill up the map there, TSM, and now they've got their heads ripped off. A key player going down, and this is what I was talking about. Go towards B, key smoke coming in, and then just they've got 2 flashbangs. Carrigan flash over, they go for Monster, and then see what they can do with this.
Let's have a look then. It will be Fox to defend on this one, and Michael Ailey as well from the side. So instant 3 versus 5. They're going to be looking to get a fairly early plant to go down from this one, and they will manage to get the bomb down. However, still 4 versus 3. Make that 4 on 2 now. Only Carrigan and Cajun B remain. There is Carrigan going down. It's going to be Cajun. What can he do here? 1 on 3, bomb ticking away. His advantage in terms of that at this point, but he's going to be pushed by 2 men. Went in for the knife, and the defuse had already happened. Cajun got those 2 kills, but it's G2 that win pistol here on CT side.
That was scary. Big call to go for the knife there. I didn't see the defuse going on, so I got a little bit scared for them, but they managed to put it off. Obviously, Rain picking up that huge frag there. TSM trying to feel out the map, trying to find the CT aggression, which actually didn't come in. G2 actually quite passive and disciplined there. Find the first frags, they go towards that B execution. Not really much happening, and once again, TSM will be force buying on the second round. When you get the bomb down, traditionally you want to go for the AKs on the third and have that real percentage advantage going forward, but they've done it again. Galil's going to be on Cage, and the rest of the guys, Tech 9s and Utility. But the problem is there's 4 rifles for G2, so still going to be a difficult affair for them.
Jacob pushed up fairly aggressively there. He's defending outside of the toilets. We'll see though. This one obviously still early stages. Feeling out as Jacob is going to get the first frag though. May even fill his boots here and get 2 and 3. Doesn't quite get it though. It knocked Carrigan down to just 35 HP. And TSM making a little bit of ground. We see there Carrigan just lining up another smoke. That's going to go plowing through.
It's a fake.
And smoke off A, but it is indeed, as you rightly point out, a fake here. TSM are going to be pushing back away, and they're going to look for B. This is where, once again, Rain could be an absolute hero.
And this is it, just Rain against 4 players. Need to find at least 2 frags here.
Well, he's going to get 1. Doesn't find number 2, though. He's bought a little bit of time here, though, for G2 to start rotating back onto this B-bomb site, but the plant will come in, so the timer is now ticking. There is Carrigan from the water, gets 1, but again, it's an exchange of frags. Fox goes down. It's now all going to be here, onto Fox at the end. Cajun B with a double, so forcing up. We said that probably the most interesting thing that came out of TSM from map 1 was winning a couple of force rounds, and they do that here in round 2.
Well, there we go. It actually pays dividends this time, but they're not going to be out of the woods just yet. G2 are going to answer back with a force buy of their own. We're going to have Desert Eagles at 5-7. Just a touch on that last round as well. Carrigan with the smoke towards long, taking away the vision from the CTs there. Actually pulled away 3 of them, leaving Rain by himself in that big bomb site. As I mentioned, he needed at least 2 kills to make that round viable for them. Only got 1, and then they swarmed the bomb site. It was too much to ask with that retake. So we go into round number 3. Full rifles on TSM. G2 just with these pistols here, but don't count them out just yet. As Michael Ailey with the deagle could have landed something there, though, but he should be dealt with here as Device takes him down.
Nicely done. Just looking for that 1 pop. Didn't work out for him, though. Let's see, 5 on 4 here in the early stages. You see a fairly pensive start from TSM. They don't want to be pushing too quick and running into any kind of stack. Losing a couple of men early, and then maybe those AKs that could follow after that. Hazy may get himself a chance. Jacob is going to take down Device, and they get Cajun as well. So just as I was saying, they didn't do that. They end up losing it, and there is another kill for AZ as well. Finally, Zipex will reply, but it's still 3 on 2 advantage. Sadly for G2, those 3 that's still alive. Okay, Fox now got himself that M4, but the other 2 still running with 5-7. And CZ. Smokes have come down onto that B side. It looks like they're going to try and move away. Zipnik's almost with a jumping headshot there onto Fox as he just climbs up, and they rotate off towards A.
Yeah, they spotted it though. It's Jacob jumping up there, gives the call to his teammate. You can see Rain rotating towards that A bomb site. This could be the double fake though. They've spotted him, and Dupree takes him down. Jacob the rotator, and that's going to work out perfectly. Rain's expecting them to come towards A, but they've doubled it. They've gone back towards B. Bomb will go down. 8 seconds remaining. Need to get a whole move on here. Will go down successfully just in the nick of time here. Just going to be 1 player remaining. That's going to be Rain. Hasn't got the kit and just a CZ in hand. He's just going to do what he can. If he can find a frag and get an AK, maybe he can make something out of this.
There is the push in, gets the frag with a CZ, but it's left with difficult levels of health, let's say, to actually pull this one off. He's going to go thundering around the corner, and, well, that's one of those scenarios where you aim and you just pray to God that you're going to land some kind of lucky shot mid-air. Didn't work out. TSM, scary round there, to be honest, for them, but they win it nonetheless.
Yeah, really nice crossfire from G2 in the connector area there. They had 1 player looking towards Party, 1 player watching towards connector, and then the first player found a kill. TSM run around trying to find the refrag there, but the crossfire just takes them down. And like I said, very dangerous, precarious scenes for them. But now they know that what they're up against. A full eco coming in from G2 here. You've got 2 recon players in the SMGs, and here comes the fast B push.
No messing around here. It's going to be Mac Daddy running in for Carrigan to get the kill. Rain did actually get one there as he was defending against the entry, but as is not really a surprise. You see those frags coming together. Bomb planted. Carrigan's going to finish things off. It's 3-1 now. So G2 going to have money again finally to work with. Let's see what their CT side really looks like. This is going to be the first real gun round that we're going to see.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct. To go in now, the scoreline is 3-1 in favor of TSM. We'll see a big round here. Both teams investing quite heavily. G2 will be onto an eco if they lose this one. So they haven't got a kit. They haven't got much in terms of utility either. Just 3 smokes to play. Well, actually 5 smokes. It's just the incendiaries that are missing and the kit. So let's see what TSM can bring to the party this time. Looks like a heavy B play coming in, much looser play style. And Rain going to be getting aggression here. He's going to push down the monster tunnel, finds 2 frags as well to kick things off.
Well, that is just a little bit terrible for TSM. They're going to lose a third as well to Fox. Finally, they get one back, but Dupree's heavily injured at this point, only 6 HP. They need to put him down quickly. Stop any turnaround coming in. Cajun, headshot onto Fox. No messing around, but still 3-on-2. And as I said, Dupree, very much a wounded animal at this point, but again, they're going to say, okay, we're going to try and spin this one around, turn it back over towards A. This time, though, G2 not going to be falling for it too heavy. They've kept Jacob completely on this A site, and TSM with 48 seconds, they've not got a lot of time here. They're going to have to start moving things along.
This is the thing. So Jacob's on the A bomb site. His role right now is just to get the intel. He doesn't want to challenge them. He's got 2 players to work with, just like he's right now, jumping over, just getting, he can see towards long, he can see towards middle, and he can see bathrooms. It's actually a very clever play from him. He's not too much at high risk. He can get the call off, get into bang, hide off, force the issue, and then his teammates can come in and pin to the bomb site here. So TSM, I'd be surprised if they can make anything out of this. They're going to be splitting between long and short. That's the spot we needed, and now he's going to flash back and get into a more defensive position.
And that flash is going to slow them right down. And this position here on Truck is surely going to be one that wins them the round. Cajun gets one back, but AZ was already in position to offer the cover fire. And with that crossfire, they are able to pick things up. And again, has to be said, the defense starting with a big double again from Rain.
Yeah, he goes and faces that monster tunnel. It takes big balls to actually go and face that one. It's not an advantageous angle at all for the CTs, especially for the M4, but he gets the double kill. Nice use of flashbangs there to give him that first pick. Interesting enough, though, TSM did have a decent cash flow there going forward. They're going to be investing in a scout on Carrigan this time, a Tech 9 on device. So a round you definitely favour towards G2. No one going to be forcing too much at the start of this round. Going to be some damage taken by AZ. He's going to fall back slightly in the bathrooms area, but now then TSM making their charge towards him. Jacob spots him as well.
And flashed out there, Dupree will challenge onto AZ. Smoke down from Jacob to give him a little bit of cover off towards long, and will actually retreat out of there, but full bathrooms control at this point for TSM. Question is, what do they do with that one? And it looks like they've opted to say, okay, we're going to back away, actually. We're going to start working over towards that B bomb site. Fox has felt the flashes coming, actually will be fully blind here, but there is a counter flash that's going to slow TSM down. They almost lined up perfectly there for Fox. This Rain does come around, but again, he's dropped quickly. It's 4-on-2. And looking like a good position for TSM, especially with the fact that it's taken G2 a while to get into position with these 2 men, means they've got the bomb down and they've also got themselves into those defensive positions, which is going to make it incredibly hard now for G2 to come back around. Zimnik's going to challenge here, loses out in that duel though to Michael Laley. And we've got Device on the bomb site itself, going to be playing this one super defensive, the smoke to cover, a back away on towards the ramp, and with that kill, that's going to mean surely no chance here, and well, Device just holding out. And you see a little bit of frustration there for Jacob, not working out in that 2 versus 4. And I thought after the first one died that Jacob would just say, okay, I'm just going to back away from this one now, at least try and take the 1 rifle through to the next round.
Well, that was a very textbook round there from TSM, getting the mid control, pushing into bathrooms, making the CTs going back into a more passive position, taking away their intel at that part of the map. At that point, they use the connector area. You can get a very fast rotation towards B, very simple take from them, get the bomb down. It's almost an impossible situation for G2 at that point. They try to get a couple of kills, but got locked down, and now then it's going to be a quasi-buy coming in from the CT side. AZ gets taken down, the stack towards middle, not really working out, but is it? Jacob and Fox getting kills respectively there with the 5-7 and P250s, but it's not over yet, so 3-on-3 onto the A-bomb side.
And that 1 man on low HP was Carrigan, only on 14. He was in danger there, but actually turned that into a kill. But it's now these 2 men left remaining against 3. And the rifles, of course, have been picked up here for G2. Can they clutch this one? It's Jacob and Fox to try and claw their way back into this round. TSM playing a very defensive setup with this bomb already planted, and Dupree going to get an easy shot there onto Fox to finish off the round. So TSM up 5. Of course, that one was the eco for G2, but their economy is sufficiently broken at this point, and it's going to mean a second one.
Absolutely, they went for the quasi buy there. They had allowed themselves to get some body armor, some upgraded pistols. They knew they were going to be on the double eco regardless. So this round, more of the same. P250's in a 5-7 on Fox. He's invested slightly more money than the rest of the guys, kind of getting their bankrolls around the same sort of level. So looks like a full-on stack B coming in this time, Joe. They're going to be going all in on this one. It's just going to be one player. That's actually 4 or 5 men on B. They're not got anyone towards A whatsoever. That's going to be Dupree taking down range to open things up. TSM taking this one very methodically, leaving the bomb towards T-spawn and just spreading out across the map and seeing if they can work out what's going on. That first pit's going to help, give them the man advantage. The thing this time, they've got the occasion B on the AWP, so they don't want to make sure they don't run into these stacks. They just want to make the CTs make the mistakes and come to them.
Dupree is going to be running interference here this entire time. Those 4 men still sat at B. There is a spray down. They do manage to kill him off, but he's taken 2 with him. They're going to give up a weapon for this one. That will go into the hands for now, at least, of Fox. But we can see that TSM have already made their moves on the other side of the map with the remaining players. And will be getting into position to plant the bomb on this B side. Already defensive setup being put in place, as we can see from Device. And he's just going to short throw that smoke down, and almost an unwinnable scenario here, you have to feel, for G2. They do have those 2 men, one of which is Fox, who has that AK in hand, and he will manage to get himself a kill, but again, TSM had that bomb site completely locked down, and it'll be 6-2 for TSM.
Oh, there we go then. It was an eco round essentially from G2 there, just some upgraded pistols. They managed to get a couple of kills. Fox potentially should have probably saved that AK-47, but regardless, this is where things get interesting. We have an AWP on both teams here. Expect much slower pace CS coming forward now. Let's have a look where TSM look to be opting to go. Bomb down once again. You'd expect them just to be filling up the map. Let's see what Muckaleli's got in plan for this AWP. Looks like he'll be facing towards Monster Tunnel as well. He wants to get that first bit of information. Doesn't spot anything though. Flashed off, and you can see now the CT's towards long. Actually pushing in. AZ leading the charge, gets the first frag. Jacob goes down to the hands of Device. That aggressive push towards long, getting that first pick. I was about to say it didn't really work out for them, but AZ gets them back in contention for this round, bringing it to the 4-on-3. Occasion
sat there with the AWP like, oh, guys, how are you all dying there? I couldn't even get in position to give you any cover. Meanwhile, B looks like it could be now a revised target here for TSM after things didn't go their way on long. They'd lost complete control of that area of the map, meaning their options somewhat limited now.
This is the thing now, they have no idea what AZ's doing. They need to move on to B right now.
And here is the first push around, and it's going to be Fox that goes down. Almost took the man, but didn't get the frag. And we're left at a 3 versus 3. The A player's going to have to start moving over now to give Rain a little bit of help, but he's going to go down to Zipnik through the wall there, so he's moving a little bit slower here. Michael going to pick off one. Now a 2 versus 2. KJB knows where Michael is, will get the frag as well. AZ got to have a big round. 26 seconds, and there's not much time. There's one man going down. That's a dangerous pick from AZ, but actually did do the damage onto Cajun, who's left with just 9 health. 16 seconds means that he has to move to try and find the angle, and AZ will challenge for that one. It's dangerous play, but full confidence in his aim.
That is the display of this kid's talent. You saw the movement, you saw the aim and the brain coming into it. Just a full package, this guy. Such a great pick out from G2, getting him into it. Very great in these clutch situations and knew exactly what he had to do. No fear as well. Not scared of the AWP in the hands there of TSM, and he gets in the 3rd round on the board. But it's going to be a difficult one going into this. You can see the city economy is still pretty wrecked at this stage. 5 AKs for TSM. They're going to have the advantage going into this round. A scout on Makaleli. Fox, though, getting the first pick. This aggressive push from short, though. Dupree deals with it fantastically. Will he make it 3? He does. Takes down Jacob as well. Fantastic round there from Dupree. And now it's going to be the 4-on-2 situation.
Disappointing stuff if you're a G2 player, I feel, from that one. Losing 3 men very, very early on in the round makes it tough here for AZ. And Michael with that scout. TSM playing this one by the book, getting those initial kills and then slowing things right down, trying to get a feel for where those 2 remaining players will be, one of which is going to be AZ, who's going to have a peek around the corner. He's got one man to his right, and he didn't check there. It'll be Dupree that gets himself another frag. That's now 4 on the board from him. He's got 19 health to pull off an ace here for TSM. So Michael Lilly, as I mentioned before, only a scout to work with, so it's going to take a small miracle, I think, at this point for him. And there is a push around, gets the frag, but got so much more work to do. Well, there we see the problem of having the scout, that even when you land your first shot, you've got to get right out and then land another one.
So the thing for G2, even after winning that last round before with the AZ clutch, it came down to that 1-1 situation. The money was already pretty wrecked at that stage there. So they had to go for a very difficult buy there, Max 7 scouts and all sorts, not much utility, no kits. So they had to make sure they got in their faces there, find that first frag and try and surprise TSM a little bit. But Dupree with that stellar play towards Connector finds 3 frags. It's going to push G2 onto an eco now. He's going to pushing offshore through fire as well. Device will be waiting for them, gets the first frag. They should make it a double with the Mac 10, and that opens up the B side very nicely indeed.
And not messing around here, to be honest, TSM. They do get in there. Jacob is round by the pillar. He will eventually get dropped, and Dupree sprays down AZ. So really fairly easy finisher there. They did lose a one-man TSM, but not really too much of an issue for them. But have a look down the bankroll again from G2. You can't really afford to buy it here again.
Perfect round there from TSM. The idea behind that sort of round is when you know G2 are going to be on a full eco, you get someone on the Mac 10, a very mobile and amazing weapon against players who are unarmored, really, and you can run and shoot with it. You go into the bomb site, even if you lose it, it's useless against armor. That's the beauty of that weapon going into it. There's another fast play coming in from TSM towards the B bomb site. This time it's not going to be so clean for them. Fox gets a frag in, but TSM recovering the situation, gets 2 frags themselves, brings it to the 4-2. Just Jacob and Makaleli remaining, with Jacob getting a frag himself. This puts TSM now much more position. There we go. Device secures the round there. Just going to be Makaleli remaining now. He's got the CZ. Making his way towards upper, it seems, but not really much he can do with this round. If he could find one more frag, that'd be great, but I don't really think he's long for this world. No,
I have to agree with that one. Finds himself in, again, for another round. A seemingly impossible position. Just that ZZ to work with. No head armor against 3 men from TSM. Still 50 seconds of this round to go. Bomb's going to get planted anyway over by B. And Michael Elliott working almost against the impossible, especially when you see their short getting smoked off. I think they've just spotted him there by hopping over the top of the wall. Michael Elliott just looking for weapons here.
Anything here? No.
No. Ah, there he goes though. Gets himself an AK. You can see from the minimap TSM saying there's an AK around there somewhere. He's probably going to have picked that one up. Let's see if we can hunt him down, stopping him taking that free rifle over into this next round. He will be spotting one man here at the end. Almost goes down. They at least know where he is, but there's no one, I think, close enough to him at this point. He's going to be able to walk away. So secures the rifle, takes a man down with him there at the end. So not a bad little finisher for Michael Early.
No, the round slips away from them. It was a good round for them, though. He gets 3 kills, and he saves the AK-47, as you mentioned. This time, G2 have a bit more of a solid buy. Fox on the AWP this time. Only 1 kit. 3 incendiaries to play with, so definitely around they have more favour going into this one. TSM once again favouring this B side of them now, going straight into the Carrigan, who was about to push through Monster Tunnel, gets incendiaried off, but there we go, Rain once again, no fear facing. Fox gets punished though, and AZ goes down with him. And now TSM in a great position just to slow things down and take the bomb site methodically.
Oh, device there. One's trying to switch out to a nade. Was clipped a couple of times there as well, putting him down to just 30 health. But a man advantage, as it's been so often here in this first half with TSM. Jacob, though, might cause a little bit of a dent for them. He's managed to get all the way around the back, and I think he's actually lost tabs of where Device has gone there. Dupree is going to find a kill and should really be hitting shots like that. And Device just re-peeks him and says, no worries for me, I'm going to take you down. And Rain left camping here at the end of Monster really is like, well, the rest of the team's gone down. I guess I'm, well, in a bit of a hard spot. 4 versus 1. Bomb's going to get planted in the A site here eventually. And this is another one for TSM. They're going to hit double figures here from the T side.
This is what we expected from them. They're so strong in this map. You see this nice loose play style coming in. They're taking advantage of the spawns they get. Carrigan just making the calls off the bat and trying to take advantage of the players he has available. Device coming to life now. Rain will be taken down by Dupree as well. It seems like they are finally arriving in this semi-final. Just having a look at the scoreboard as well. Dupree, 18 frags. Cajun B, 14. Device, 13. They're the heavy hitters of the team, and they're all firing on all cylinders right now. So good stuff from them. Double figures, as you said. G2 looking looking a little bit lost on this second map here, but this is what we expected. As we mentioned before, AZ and Jacob, relatively new pickups going forward, so you can't really be strong on all the picks here. And the way the veto system works as well, you can only ban one map before picks come in. So TSM are always destined to win this one, in my opinion. But round number 14, difficult buy once again from G2. Going to have SMGs, Mag 7s, and CZs and a FAMAS. You almost can guarantee this one's going one way, but let's see what they can do with it.
Well, Michael there just firing off that shot. He does have AZ to give him some cover, and they're falling like dominoes here at the start of the round. One for AZ, one for Jacob with a Mag 7, and one more falling their way as well. There's Jacob getting the info. Okay, last two men, I know exactly where they are. I'm going to get up in their faces here with a shotgun. Misses the first shot, almost gets the frag with his second round, but that leaves at least Cajun low. And G2 should have this round in the bag. Would be a massive win for them if they can convert these last couple of rounds and at least go 10-5 in at the half-time.
I can't believe I said it as well. They had no chance getting into this round. All of a sudden, the Mag 7s come to life. The orbs, it's just classic stuff, really, isn't it? But there we go. 40 seconds remaining. G2 obviously in an advantageous position here. 4-on-2. Cajun be on very low health as well. You can see them trying to just go for a plant here. Zipex is trying to get the distraction towards B. He actually manages to find a kill as well. He could peel some CTs away. It's not going to be enough, though, and you can see Cajun with that bomb in hand. I think he's actually towards the bathroom area. Yeah, there he is. And just going to see what he can do here. The idea was he can just try and get a plant and get a post-plant situation there. But this time he should be dealt with in the next 10 seconds, I would say, because he hasn't got much time to play with.
No, and they pretty much know where he is. They've got one man deep inside B who's saying, all clear on this side. They've now spotted him, heard that weapon going off, and he's not even got time to plant for this one. AZ will just come straight rushing on into him. And that will be another round for G2. So they're up to 4 now here. And looking like, obviously, a 10-4 or, sorry, an 11-4 or a 10-5 half-time for them, which is not the end of the world again, but...
I would say against TSM CT, that might be the end of the world. You needed a much stronger showing on this one, just because TSM, that is so good on this map, Joe. It's going to be such an uphill struggle for them, but goes without saying the 5th round required, absolutely, if they're going to have any sort of glimmer of hope going into the next half here. But here we go. They have got the advantage. McAlady still on the AWP, managed to get a vital pick last round. TSM this time getting mid-control. No CD presence just yet. They've opted to go towards long this time.
Let's have a look. Device already thundering through from this one, and that's the easiest kill. He might be gifted all day. Fox bouncing up and down with a grenade in hand. AZ, though, does manage to get a double, so he's bought a little bit of time here for G2. That's allowed Jacob to get back around towards the truck, and he might be able to get the plant here. No, the cover fire from Device will take him down. There is rain falling as well. Michael Lely, I feel like I've said this a lot already this game. A small miracle needed for him.
No, there's not really much he can do here whatsoever. He hasn't got a kit. He's got an AWP, probably the worst weapon to retake a bomb site with. Smokes down in CD spawn, and there it is. Cajun B to finish things off. 11-4 in TSM's favor on the T side of Overpass. That is a monster of a victory there. As we go into the second half, G2 definitely need the pistol here to have any chance of survival, but I think this one may be all but over, Joe, just because, like I said before, CT side of TSM is their bread and butter. This is where Device comes to life. He's the absolute master of this map. Let's see what they can do here. G2, TSM went for that B play, slow afterwards. They went for go feel out the map and then went into the duel to B, worked out very nicely. But what are G2 going to do with this? They've got 4 sets of armor, very similar buy coming in. McAlady's going to be the utility player, excuse me, with the smoke and 2 flashbangs. They look like they're opting towards mid and A. There's going to be a player waiting for them. That's Dupree. Spots them up towards Fountain, and now will be falling back after getting that intel. Nice
little bit of information early on for him. So that Zipex just having a peek over the top, just see if anyone's actually pushed up towards short from G2. Not the case, though. It's looking like a heavily weighted A play at this stage. There is a smoke coming down defensively from TSM to try and slow things a little bit. And this is where that USP really wins out for me. That kind of massive range where Device is just looking to hit the heads as he goes through. They will start to push on through, and there's a 1 bullet for Dupree to take out Rain. Looking for another one, gets it as well. That was the bomb down here at the end of long, and it's looking like G2 are just going to fall from this one. 2 men were left at the end. A brave effort from Jacob, but it's pistol for TSM. and surely the end of any hope here for them on Overpass.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I wouldn't be surprised. We're going to see the Tech-9's armor come out here. They really need to get into this one right now. We can see SMGs coming out for TSM, so it probably would be a good time for them to force buy into this one, which they will. A last-minute decision, it seems like, for G2 going in. Tech-9's armor, but no grenades, Joe. That's a big issue on a map like Overpass. You can't really enter bomb sites too well without smoking off some choke points here. Let's see what they have got to bring to the table. They're going to be filling out towards connector, making their way towards short, looking for any jump boosts coming in, but the CT's playing a very passive game here, keeping things nice and close range with those SMGs in hand. But like I said before, without these grenades to actually execute on the site, I'm not really sure what the game plan is here.
And one thing that might work for them, though, 3 SMGs for TSM with that armor that they've managed to buy up may just be enough here. Let's have a look. You see, though, well, when you're in that kind of range, one man will be exchanged for either side. That does free up UMP for Fox, but these are the heavy hitters. Those FAMASs, especially at this kind of range, are going to cause you problems. There's a dink onto Device. He tries to get away, but Rain will finish him off. So G2 still got something to say here on this force buy-up. Rain will take out Carrigan. Spots Ipex there at the back, but not able to get that frag down. And the bomb is going to get planted. AZ here going to defend from toilets, and actually will have heard Cajun be moving through there, so they know where Cajun's going to be coming from. Michael Ailey just one digs him straight to the head. It's now Zipex or bust for TSM. AZ, Michael Ailey and Fox remaining. And I'm not sure that he's even going to bother going for this one. Maybe just looking to keep a hold of that FAMAS. Gets a kill onto Fox with it, but you see already saying, okay, no, I want this FAMAS for the next round. Oh, this might be dangerous for him. No, he's going to pop out with the knife in hand and ends up dying as he tries to jump down into the water to get away from things. So not over just yet for G2. That force buy winning them around.
Yeah, surprisingly so as well. Makaleli doing some great work. The Deagle finds the dink on towards long, making the CTs get a little bit under pressure there. They swarm onto the bomb site, the split from long and middle. It just seemed like it was too much for TSM there. Big round for them to win, gives them a lifeline into this second map here. TSM not opting to really buy anything into this. Some PT-50s and a Desert Eagle, it seems like all they'll be going for as we enter round number 18. This time though, G2 have got full rifles. I've got smoke grenades to play for as well, so you'd assume this long take's just going to be leading towards an A execution. And the B stack did come in from TSM at the start, but now they're kind of changing their mind, shifting back towards that A bomb site, as they feel that may be where the T's are deciding to go.
Well, Device looking for the shot and finds an instant FAMAS bullet to the head. As the smoke start moving in there. TSM not with much chance to defend on this one. So the kind of plays, though, that may help them out. Playing up close, those real surprising angles for G2 as they start to work their way in. And there's a big hit on towards Fox. They've killed off the three. Cajun will fall as well. And one by one, and this is G2 moving in for another round. Carrigan, last man left alive. 1v5 with just a USP.
Yeah.
The definition almost of an impossible round win.
Or is it?
Or is it? I mean, he's got 10 health still, so not exactly the biggest health pool to work with. And unsurprisingly, he does die. G2 losing just the one man. Bomb plant in there as well for them. So all good on their side. For TSM, they're left with about 3-6.
Yeah, so this is the chance. Just they've got this big bed of rounds to play with, sorry, and they can just afford to take another eco here. Make sure they get the nice weapons, the AWPs. Don't get themselves in a situation similar to Cash where they actually don't have an orb the whole half. Just take the eco on the chin and use the round. So you can see G2 going up for the straight up B play, contact B. As soon as they get spotted, that's when they'll do this straight up rush, and here we go.
Well, they know where Dupree is there. See the flashes and nades coming in, and 2 kills already here for TSM, but G2 able to hold strong there with now a 3-on-2 scenario. Carrigan up close, did get one hit, I think, in there, taking Fox a little bit lower, or possibly AZ. And Device with 7 health, a USP. This is not his round. Bomb planted, finished off by Makaleli. 12-7. G2 continuing to come back a little bit from this one. Maybe good for their confidence as well. I mean, I never like to say at this stage, can they come back, you know, try and build some hype around something that's not likely to happen. But a few rounds here could help them moving forward in terms of confidence, at least for map 3.
Well, interesting round on the last ever TSM. Went for the stack B and actually went for the airstrike tactics. 3 HEs landing towards Monster Tunnel, perfectly read by them. But this is where things get interesting. Full buy now. Device finally on that AWP. Can be an absolute monster on this map. He goes to that mid aggression there. Gets flashed out of position though. He's going to be staying towards bar. far from zone. There is the first kill to AZ. Nice headshot there with the AWP. Means he can just fall back now to more passive position and make the T's really work for this round.
And work they're certainly going to have to do. Jacob may find Dupree here in a second, but as I mentioned before, he is playing a tight defensive angle. Wow, Jacob getting the better of him, and see Dupree's kind of like, well, guys, that's something that somehow messed up for me there a little bit. Carrigan is eventually going to fall, but Long definitely covered off here. Device with the AWP will clip Fox, and enough to get him the kill as well. And just like that, Jacob, last man left alive. Bomb is down halfway up Long, which, as I just said a second ago, is Device's territory at this point of things. And Jacob is going to start to push through. Zipnix was there, and that is another round for TSM. One step closer to the win here on map 2 at 13-7.
That's just testament to why you should take these ecos on the chin here. Don't force by every single time. Device showing what he can do with that weapon. Finds 3 frags and pretty much secures the round by himself. That shot towards Long really did tie things up. We're going to round number 21 now, and this is the round that will break G2. A must-win round for them. They have got to fall by this time, but you can see them making their way towards B. It looks like either the rush or they're going for an execution. What's the play here? Going to be smoked off at the start of the round towards Monster. They've committed all 5 players towards this. It's going to be flashed through. They're getting sprayed. There's heavy damage being done there by Cajun. They're going to have to rush now. No other choice.
Getting absolutely wrecked there through the smoke. They managed to get through the first line of defense, though. The question is, will they get through the second and third that are playing around water? Carrigan takes the head off Rain. Occasion being low, just 6 HP remaining. Oh, he's dinked one of them. Dupree now coming in for the backup. It's all on Michael Lely. He's sprayed down by Dupree, who doubled up there to finish the round. TSM now 2 points away from pushing us into that third map that we all wanted to see.
Yeah, there we go. Cajun, a lovely read there. He just kind of felt it out perfectly. That instinct to spray through the smoke. Just dinked about 3 players, I think, as they came through, and you have no real choice. You've got no control anywhere else on the map. You're committed to the monster tunnel. You just had to run through. They managed to take him down, but everyone was so low HP, it just completely fell apart. We're going to round number 22. TSM 1 point away from taking the map points, and there we go. It's going to be a simple round for them. But Jacob's got other ideas. Takes down Dupree with Device chiming in as well. That's the second kill of the round. It's going to leave Jacob and Fox remaining. And there we go, Jacob with a chance there on Zipx gets punished as well, and Device finishes things off. Map points in favour of TSM now. It's a similar scoreline to what we saw in Cash at this stage. It would take an absolute miracle for G2 to even get this to overtime, but they're going to go with the rifles this time. Distinct lack of grenades. They've got 4 smokes to play with, a couple of flashbangs. That's about it. And Device really turning up, along with Cajun being Dupree. Those are the heavy hitters I discussed before. They were pretty absent on Cash, and now they really have found some form.
Yeah, I mean, we can almost replay the commentary from map 1 at this stage, you know. A long comeback for G2. Is it worth it, etc., etc. There is a Device peak, which will get him. He shot off onto Jacob, not the damage to actually finish it off, though. But there's a good grenade coming in. AZ got the best of a bad situation there, really. Did die to a grenade from Device in the end. And quickly, we are down to a 3 versus 3. Jacob, though, is wounded at this point. Only got the 16 health left after being clipped earlier on from the AWP of Device. But G2, you know, these T rounds for them been looking a little bit lost, which we did expect them. We talked about already at this point, you know, when you bring a new player into the team, it's almost impossible in that kind of time frame to lock things down. There is Zipnix with no real problem defending over towards that B site. The bomb is all the way back in spawn, and Device is sat on it like a chicken protecting its eggs.
Well, this is it. Michael Ellie is the clutch master, but this may be a little bit too much of a tall order. Device is waiting for him, though. Oh, almost got a little bit hairy, but there it is. 16 rounds made by TSM, and just as you just said, that map is always going to be a TSM victory. Just needed to get their players in form. Device turning up heavily on that CT half, finding very key frags in that last round. It just really summed it up there. So we go into Mirage. That's where things get interesting. A map we know both these teams can play, and it's like we said before this game, it's kind of like the best of one scenario now. It's what the result we expected going forward. I think the analysts predicted it. First map definitely towards TSM. First map definitely towards G2, sorry. Second map definitely towards TSM. Third map, this is where it gets interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we could have almost saved a couple of hours here and just said, you know what, guys, at this stage, let's just play that best of one on Mirage for this semi-final here. But, you know, that trophy on the line here, a place in the final of the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose. Things so far have gone to plan, and, well, hopefully they continue to, because we were expecting here that map number 3, Mirage, a good map for both of these teams, will hopefully, fingers crossed, be a very close one. You know, map 1 and map 2 are 16-5 and 16-7. Dominant from both teams, the respective teams that have won those maps as well. So everything going to plan here. Of course, you don't want to miss map number 3. That'll be coming up here shortly. But who would you favour at this point, Henry?
I would say after that, TSM seem like they've woken up. They're the more drilled team going forward on this one. So I would say it's going to be a very close game, as you said, possibly even overtime, but TSM just snip it for me.
Well, brilliant stuff there as we end map 2. Map 3 coming up here in just a second, but of course we're going to send it over to the analyst desk for a bit of a breakdown on map 2.
Yeah, and I mean, how much is there to break down? We talked about it before. You guys said it was a clear-cut one. We came into Overpass. Everyone thought it was going to TSM. Previously, you said Cash was all going G2. Maniac, Anders, and Semler then are going to be giving us a bit more of a lowdown on how that Overpass played out. But I think our primary focus, and I mean, Joe made it very clear as well, Mirage is going to be, I mean, it all comes down to that map, and there's going to be a whole lot to be said about that. But let's kind of round out Overpass, and we'll start with you, Anders.
I think what I really enjoy about TSM's CT side especially is how much they utilize the whole restrooms and playground area. They push up very far. They make you fight for all of the map control. So if you want to do an execute onto that A-bomb side, you're going to have to spend a lot of time and a lot of utility to get them away. So once you get there, you've got a little time left. You've got fewer grenades. They're very good at doing it, and everyone else should learn from it.
Yeah, that's actually true. I think TSM and Overpass is extremely good at dictating the pace of the game. You could see that they would like be very aggressive, get the very first picks, and then when they think that the enemy team is going to react to this, then they would sit back and wait for the aggression. I think they did it as T, that they would play very aggressive for the first pick, and then when they think, okay, maybe this time the CTs, they're going to come for us because they cannot really handle our execution and stuff, then they would wait, get the frag when the CTs are trying to push, and then play the game. So they have different play styles, and they are very good at knowing what should we do now and what should we do the next round.
And I mean, does that change per opponent? I mean, I assume you have to have a read on your opponent as well in terms of when we're going to be going aggressive and when not.
Yeah, I think it's part of reading the game live.
Yeah.
I mean, just feeling the thing, and also the background work you do on the team. So you kind of know what kind of weapons they have, what kind of resources they have on such maps.
And we definitely,
yeah.
Go on. I was going to say, we definitely have to highlight as well that, yeah, we'll sort it out later, don't worry. We've got to highlight the fact that KGB was showing up in this tournament as well, or at least showing up in this particular match. That's been a while. He was up there with Dupree and Device as well. So, I mean, that's a very bad sign for G2 going into any map. If all three work, then things are going to get really rough.
I think it's similar to what we see in anti-eco situations, where teams, sometimes they'll just play ultra aggressive just to make sure that they beat up a little bit more, right? Just to make sure that you don't get your feet under you if you're their opponent. When you're coming into this match right now, and where it's basically saying, okay, TSM, they wrote off the first map. They said, right, that went according to plan. We're not going to let them get any kind of confident start here on this map. We're going to control it right from the start. Maniac is dead on when he says, they're very good at controlling the pace. It's like they even ratcheted up one more notch and just said, actually, G2, we're going to make life very difficult for you going into Mirage. Yeah, we're going to make it so that you're the ones who are suffering. You're the ones who have to reset mentally and find your center again to go into that last map.
And I mean, I think that kind of segues quite beautifully into the third map discussion. It's going to be, as you said, Mirage, a map that it's not as kind of obvious as the first two. I think it's safe to say, and I'll start with you, Matthew. Well, let's kind of turn our focus to TSM. I feel like that's a team you're more likely to have played against them on Mirage. Is there anything that kind of, I know it's a tough question, is there anything that stands out to you when you're going in, maybe just against TSM, not necessarily on Mirage?
Well, it come down to the point that they are very hard to predict. What I remember from playing against TSM is that we would never know when they would, as CT, push the middle, like very aggressive and get the first frags, or when they would use an AVP, maybe in the A apps or the B apps coming for the first picks. And then they also are able to play very defensive. They would, for example, not even play the A side, but stay back CT spawn and in the mid connector. So you think, oh, that's an easy round, but then the retake is so on point. So I think they have different kind of resources on this map, very deadly. But then G2, if I'm not wrong, I think back then when they were Kingwin, that was one of the decent map from them,
right.
quite clearly.
Yeah.
Even though they changed two players, I mean the three cores of Michael Ele, Fox, and who's the first one that was in Kingwin as well?
Rain?
Rain, exactly. I think those three, they have patterns, they have like instincts on how to play the map. So I would definitely not rule them out of Mirage.
One thing that we already noticed yesterday when they played versus CLG is that it doesn't seem like when they have that new player that comes in, that they're saying this is the role that you're going to play, they're actually giving AC his spot right on that A site. So we weren't sure. Obviously, there's speculation around it, right? Is that due to communication? Do they want to just allow him to be more autonomous and do his own thing, or was that part of the plan from the beginning that he just kind of like snicks into that spot and it puts the perfect fit? But it seems like right now G2 they're a strong team on this map. I don't think it's going to be done for TSM, done and dusted anyway.
No, by no stretch of the imagination. The point actually I want to bring up is Matthew, you were talking about G2 as a roster, as a whole. You had a very good point to make that we haven't had an opportunity to kind of bring up.
Yeah, actually, when Samra, you were talking about how quickly Ye can become a superstar or a very, very great player.
strong player,
And it kind of rang a bell that what would happen normally when you have such a player with huge potential and that is a new rookie? I would take the example of Kenny as back then. He would get picked by a very experienced team, very games back then. And then he would have very experienced players trying to raise him to become a star. But I was thinking about G2, and they are 5 very great players, but I mean, only Mike Kelele really knows what's up at the very top level. He played for NIP for a moment, but the rest, they haven't been really successful. They haven't really played the highest level. I mean, Fox was always a good player, AZ was always a star player, but they never reached the very top. And still they managed to be so effective and so powerful. I think that's a clear statement of the brute force, and also probably how the cooperation works for that team. That's very impressive for me.
Right from the start, we've always said that it's going to be like 5-star aimers, and what does that mean? It's like brute force. There's not going to be much subtlety here. They aren't capable of having much subtlety either. At least with the original language barrier for everybody.
Quite the opposite
to
to TSM, as you just said.
It's very much just like, okay, guys, go kill them.
Well,
then AC and Jacob, they're just like, yeah, right.
Someone's holding the leashes and just kind of lets all 5 go.
So calm down, small sons, because on this map we have Carrigan.
Somebody's gonna be calm later.
We have Carrigan, and when he ults CT side middle, whole teams get destroyed all on their own. So
oh yeah, but no, that's the problem, Anders. That meta, that actually got figured out. And speaking with Kerrigan about Mirage when they went into that tough patch, it was because they realized we focused too much on having Kerrigan mid with that op. Teams figured it out, and then they had to go ahead and go back to the drawing board and figure out a whole new thing. That's still a weapon, but now that's the beauty of it, right? Their game has evolved. Like they've hit another level. They were like Charmander, and then they were like.
I feel quite confident in Carrigan's ability still on this map, and he hasn't shined yet in this last map.
Like that.
Means now he's got a chance to take over.
That's the thing. They're not reliant on Kerrigan anymore. It used to be that Kerrigan had to get that op, and he had to have an impact mid, and then they were able to look
Kerrigan's
dominant on the map.
impact on Overpass was minimal because he didn't really need to. He had Cajun, Device, and Dupree doing everything for him. So why would he need to do anything else? Well, now, if those 3 continue to play like they were, and Kerrigan does what he generally does on,
will he have the
Mirage, then
they have the space to, Anders.
Are
they going to be greedy, and are they going to give him any frags?
Just have 4 people.
See, this is the problem. The sacrifice of a leader, Anders. Sometimes he has to take the step back, let his boys go out there, get the work done.
If TSM have that problem, then G2 have it quadrupled. So
right.
Well, no, G2 is G2 is like, I guess they're. How to
you guys need a weekend escape. You guys need to go on a weekend escape. You need to get us all out in the open. Talk it out.
I think this is very good. I think this is a very constructive process.
I agree. No, but it is time for us to take a quick break before our third map. Very quickly, guys. Very quickly, let's do some predictions because I'd like to know where you see the first finalist spot being taken.
Kind of a tough one, this one, actually. But now that I picked up Carrigan, I have to go with TSM, don't I?
There we go.
I've played myself in a corner like that. TSM winning it 16-13.
But will they have you back, Anders?
Probably
got
not.
A long memory.
Somebody
was saying...
I was rooting for Cloud9 against them, so I think I actually burned that bridge.
Auguste, give us your prediction.
I think I have to side with experience. And just with the main prediction going into this tournament, that TSM are the favorite team to take it. And again, two recent roster changes. Yes, they look fearsome. Yes, they're scary, G2. But I think that experience will play out and that they'll get the match.
Calling another semi-final finish for G2.
So I'm going for TSM. I'd say TSM takes it.
Yeah, I will follow the general advice. I think it's going to be TSM, but it's going to be very close. We might go for 16-13, 16-14. Even overtime would be on the play. But I think that the experience will talk and TSM will take it.
All right, guys, you've heard it from us. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Before I do that, though, I want to thank the Score Esports application, which, of course, provided all of the stats that you're seeing popping up at various intervals, and it's worth checking that out as well. We're going to take a quick one, guys. When we're back, we're going to provide the answer of who will wait in the grand finals here of the Intel Extreme Masters. Don't go anywhere.